Well, what an exciting weekend of football it has been. From here at home, SportPesa Premier League to the Barclays Premier League. Leicester are still sending shockwaves across. Is this their season? That's the question on everyone's lip. As well as AFC Leopards have just defeated and broken Gor Mahia's unbeaten run. That is amongst what we are going to discuss in this show, Futa Frenzy. I am yours, Abdi Nuradin. These are the highlights. It is the question that everybody wants to know. Will Leicester really live with the Barclays Premier League trophy? And will Kogalo be able to survive in the absence of Michael Olunga, who's just left for Sweden, and Mehdi Kagere? With me here in the studio today is Coach Patrick Best.
Yes.
Coach,
yes.
You seem not happy about Leicester's domination of the league.
Yes.
Why?
Leicester are a team that if they go to the Champions League as a fan of the English Premier League, they can't be able to represent us to the highest quality. If they draw Real Madrid in the group stages, they will get beaten 10-0 on aggregate. Is that what we have to reflect as a champions of our league? No. They require to finish the whole 9 games. The league does not end until the 38th game of the season. If you lose the game by even goal difference, they might draw the last 3 games because they have 3 bad fixtures at the end of the league. They have Manchester away, Liverpool away, and Man City away. If they be able to deal with that pressure, applaudits to them. They are good enough.
And before we come to that, everyone was speaking the same way, the same thought when Leicester faced Manchester City at Etihad, the home of Manchester City, and they defeated them by 4 goals. What does that mean for other opponents? Is it a threat to Chelsea, to Manchester United?
When they defeated Manchester City didn't play to their level best. We didn't have the guy at the person. Manchester City didn't have their best player for the big games. Toure was off his game. They didn't have Kevin De Bruyne, who is out for 2 months. And Silva was off his game. And Aguero couldn't deal with the whole team. It's a team game. Your teammates have to give you morale, have to be at your level.
Coming back to Arsenal, what is wrong with the Gunners? Everyone has been saying this is their season. Of course, that is the word that is always said before the beginning of the season. Could this really be not their season?
It's always not their season. Ever since 2006, there's always been in there about during this time period in February. They'll be like, they need to win the league with 4 games, but they never do. They lack the mentality. Sometimes you just need to win a game 1-0, 5 whole games 1-0, to be able to show not play enough flair. Just dig in there and scrap out a bad win. A bad win. A win is a win. Even a bad win is a win.
A major talking point has been the red card given to Francis Coquelin. Did he really deserve to fall Harry Kane?
He did not have support when you're under the cusp.
But you are leading with a goal. You're not down. You are still on the field with 11 players. You are leading 1 goal. You led the first half. It is in the second half. You only need to protect that goal. How on earth do you go and earn a red card?
That's what I was telling you. They need to scrap out wins. They need to pack the bus, as Mourinho used to say. Pack even 2 buses. But now they want to attack and win 4-0 with flair. You cannot leave Coquelin unprotected. Ramsey running about the whole game. You need to just stay in your position, positional defense, defensive, tactical arrangement, not attack the whole game 90 minutes. Now, he slid into Harry Kane, got his 2nd yellow, lack of experience at this major point of the game.
And how about the debut of Mohamed Elneny?
I wasn't impressed. He needs a couple of years to get to the pace of the game, but I'll give him benefit of the doubt. He got signed in January. He's playing in March. Let's give him a couple of years and see how he progresses.
Moving over now to Manchester United. After a run of fine games, victories against Arsenal, victory against Midtjylland, now they are losing to West Brom Albion. Another excuse has been Juan Mata's red card, but they weren't a threat at all to West Brom.
West Brom, as I was telling you, some coaches know how to win badly. Look at Tony Pulis's team. Plays 4 centre-backs. A left-back playing as a centre-back. All people are defending. Now when you're down against 10 and the aerial bombardments which they give, and Salomon Rondon, who is a beast in the air, he'll always punish you. And Manchester United defensively are not really good because of the injuries, and Daley Blind isn't really convincing as a top defender.
We can see the Busby Babes are coming back. Now Van Gaal and Ryan Giggs are trying to invest in the young players. We've seen Marcus Rashford coming in. Before that, we've also had many chances being given to other players. Do you believe that can be able to overturn Van Gaal's poor season?
I don't think so. To win any game, there's a mixture of experience and youth. But now they're only playing youth. Mensah, Januzaj. They need a couple of experienced players to guide the youth. Memphis Depay is a good player, but needs a bit of time. Rooney's out. You need a bit of guidance. Even when Rooney came into the team, he had Paul Scholes, he had Owen Hargreaves, he had Rio Ferdinand and Gary Neville to guide you into the league and put a arm over your shoulder.
But you're speaking of old age, supposed to guide these young players and serve as a role model. How on earth did Joan Mata get a red card? Isn't he a bad example to the young players? If we're speaking of experience guiding the young players.
His red card, he wanted to withdraw his leg, but he went in too quickly, couldn't withdraw in time. But as a top quality player, you shouldn't rush into tackles and you already had your first yellow. That's a poor mistake by a top quality technician. Those mistakes cost you points to get into the Champions League. Next year they will be playing Europa League football, Thursday night football, which isn't as prestigious as Champions League football.
Well, they're already in Thursday night football, as my analyst here in the studio says. Moving on now to the bridge. How do you lead against Stoke and then you draw, losing massive 3 points?
Stoke is a difficult opponent. If you look at the Stoke under Tony Pulis and the Stoke under Mark Hughes, they are different. Look at the technical players which he's gotten from Barcelona, Ajax, and a couple of good teams. Underrated players, but technically they're good. They can be able to scuff out wins. Even if you go to their home ground, which is the Britannia Stadium, they are tough opponents for any team. Look at Arsenal didn't win against them. Not even Chelsea, even Man City lost against them. Stoke aren't a team just to be swept under the rug.
But a team that possesses the players, as you mentioned, having Bojan Kakic, having very talented players. How do you go on and play defensively when you have a lot of offensive players?
That's what I was telling you. Sometimes you need to go into tactical awareness as a manager. You just can't go into a team because you have technical players and go out an all-out attack. You have to understand you need to sit back and hit them on the counter.
But Leicester are applying the same strategy. They're not playing a lot of defensive football. They're actually playing more entertaining football than entire Chelsea, Manchester City and Arsenal combined. Look at Mahrez, look at Kante, look at Vardy, look at Drinkwater. Those are players that are very exciting to watch.
They're really exciting to watch. But now I was telling you the bit of luck. When they reach the top quality players, like when they go to top teams, like imagine Leicester at the Nou Camp, 30% possession. Could they be able to handle that kind of pressure against MSN in the Champions League? Every game you have to have the tactical awareness to play a different tactical game according to your opponents. You play according to your opponents you face.
Well, let's come back now to our very own Kenyan league. Which team do you support, coach?
I'm a neutral. I don't want to be biased against any other team. I'm a neutral.
Okay, so based on your neutrality, looking at the first 4 games in the league, at the beginning everybody says that these are just pace setters. But looking at the performances of teams like Sofapaka, Posta Rangers, the newly promoted, looking at Gor Mahia, looking at Kakamega Homeboys, who do you believe is a serious contender?
You can never rule out Sofapaka, Gor Mahia, FC Leopards, Ulinzi Stars, even Posta Rangers. At the beginning of the league, everything is equal. At the beginning of the league, even the lowest team has a chance to win the league. Even Muhoroni Youth has a chance to win the league.
Equal chance.
Equal chance. Everything is at par. You start the league with 0 points. No one starts ahead of you. So if you have a dedication and the determination, you can win the league. But to be honest, you have to put the top teams are first, second, and third. Then you go out and give them other chances. Gor Mahia, FC Leopards, and Ulinzi Stars.
And that question really gives us the chance to look at the defending champions, Kogalo. They have been a force to reckon with in Kenyan football, but they have lost their unbeaten record. Remember, the whole of last season they have been impressive, but at the beginning of this season they have been sliding away and they are yet to win a victory in the league.
Gor Mahia, every season they are constantly rebuilding their team. Like 3 seasons ago they lost Blackberry. They keep on losing their top quality players. There reaches a time when the team cannot gel every season. You lose 5 players, you buy 5. You need to have consistency in a team to be able to mend them, grow them. Even they could be able to compete in the CAF champions, but they cannot, because every season you hold trials, you need new players, because the players, you cannot be able to pay them, and they're top quality players. Then you have to rebuild, which is a problem, and plus the coach went to Zamalek.
Yeah, and speaking of these coaches, Kogalo seems to be, you know, trusting foreign coaches so much. What is the technique behind that?
Foreign coaches have a foreign mindset. A foreign coach will tell you, you need to run with the ball, think before you play. A Kenyan coach might tell you, use your strength. Football is played most of the times with brains, not with strength. You need to use your brain. You need to think while you play, not play while you think, you see?
Yeah. The director has just shared a question with me. He wants to know, why is Kogalo, why did they just, you know, surprisingly transform from a team that had been attacking AFC Leopards through the entire match to playing a lot of rough football? Look at what they did to Lamine Diallo. What is wrong?
Kogalo, it reaches a point, their fans, the Green Army, demand them to win every game. The demand on your team is from the Green Army is to win every game. It reaches a point of time you haven't scored. The pressure from your fans is immense. And if you get taken away by a defender takes you one way and you go the other way, the fans get you on your nerves. Then you have to tackle him, to respond to the fans, and the fans will respond to you, just to build a certain momentum, a certain morale for the team.
Your final predictions for the Barclays Premier League. Who do you think will go home with the big eared trophy?
The big eared trophy will probably go to Leicester.
Okay.
And then the top four will probably go Man City, Tottenham, Arsenal, they're perennial number 4s.
And here back at home, what do you predict for Gor Mahia?
They'll get possibly top 3.
AFC Leopards?
Top 7.
Top 7.
Yeah.
Well, the coach here says that it is Leicester City's season and it is unpredictable here at home in the SportPesa Premier League, where as we speak, AFC Leopards are top of the table with 10 points. Remember, here at Futa Frenzy, we'll keep speaking about matters football here at home and in the Barclays Premier League. Don't go away, we'll be back shortly. Continue contributing on our Twitter page, use @FutaFrenzy, @Abdinur, and we will keep the conversation going.